Hello everyone, No Life here, and today I'll be going over Killer Clown from Outer Space's first week of being live. So, technically counting early access, this would be the second week the game has been available to players, but since I already went over my impressions of the game from its first week during the early access, I think now it's time for me to do my impressions on the game now that it's officially released to the public. So, I'm going to be honest, this was not a very good week for me when it comes to this game. And if I hadn't have played one more session before I made this video, this video would have took a completely different turn than the one I'm currently going to be making with it. But well, where do I start here, Jish? I guess we'll go with some of the bug fixes, quote unquote, that they released with this game. So they released a bunch of fixes, mostly to help with crashes, optimizations, and bot behavior, which is laughable because the bots are still just as bad as they were at launch. Or I'm sorry, early access. The bots still don't do anything but pick up items and attack clowns if they're feeling brave. They do not try to escape at all. They just literally cannon fodder and are completely useless. Honestly, I'm not sure why they even have bots in the game, as the game has a backfill system, so they're completely useless, and it would have been better off being used for a proper tutorial. As unlike Texas, this game has bots. So honestly, at this point, I'm going to say they're being very lazy and not making a closed off environment where you'd be able to test off mechanics and the bots can't run from you or whatever, etc. But um, that aside, they finally allowed you to be able to cross-play with other platforms. The only negative aspect to it is it uses Epic to do so. I have an Epic account, so I should be primarily to cross-play. However, I've never tested it, so eventually when I'm trying to play this game with my PC friends, whenever I feel in the mood to play it with them, that is, I could try to see how that works, but I'm sure it's going to be much more knowing than it would have been if they did a in-game crossplay system. But me grabbing about things I'm honestly more or less ignorant to aside, they claim to have made some improvements to matchmaking pre-game lobbies. Sorry, pre-made lobbies. I'm not sure if that means custom games or like pre-made as in a group of friends. Because I've definitely seen friends get split up, and as you could expect, they end up teaming with the clowns. Taking solo escapes, telling them where they are, making noises to make it easier for the friends to find them, stuff like that. And I just really hate that kind of aspect, just because the fact that it's just like it shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have groups of friends split up. It makes no sense for that to be the case. You should be able to queue up with more than 7 friends in a public match, and if you are, you should be mandatory to be playing survivors. Force everyone else to play killer, or I'm sorry, clown, well, killer clown, whatever. Um, they claimed that there's something about adding blocking volumes as escapes. So I'm guessing that's to stop people from body block. I've never seen any escape that you could do that. Only one I could think of that happened would be like the bunker. I can definitely imagine the tank hide in front of. I'm hiding. I'm sorry, sitting in front of the escape and prevent them to go to like the bunker or something. And the problem with that is, unless they turn their ass to the victims or survivors, you should be able to just kill them. And hell, I've even seen some moments where the survivor stabbed a clown in the back of the head and it still popped their nose. So I don't even know.
There's issues in the game like the challenges. They reset everyone's progress on their challenges so they could fix the fact that a lot of progress or challenges was not tracking. That is not true. In fact, there's some challenges that worked before that now they don't work, such as the archetype challenges for both sides. There was one where you had to, I believe it was knock off someone's block as the brawler. I got that one on bots. Me trying to farm as many challenges as I can before they did the great reset, and now that doesn't work. I've seen one of my friends streaming, and it was not tracker of progress for that. And then there's this issue I had here in this clip I'm showing where I don't know if this is an issue only with the trapper or it's all clowns, but occasionally when you knock them down, they don't actually go down. They just like are like stunned, pretty much. They like stop moving, and it makes it so you can't always hit them in their nose with melee weapons. It's just fine for guns; you can still shoot them, but that's a pretty annoying thing to run into when again you get in a situation where you kind of need to kill the clown to get away from him. You know, now you can't kill him.
But the Claytus have addressed a bunch of issues with exploits in XP. I'm gonna assume that has something to do with the fact that if you spam picking up an item in a box, sometimes it duplicated. But this is to be seen, at least by my eyes. They fixed some issues that had to do with cocoons falling off the map, which is very good because I definitely ran into that issue and it was a little annoying. Um, they said something about fix the issue where the cinematic intro when loading into a match is sometimes be missing assets. That's very minor, but still good to be fixed, I suppose. They said something about fix the issue where bots would not be replaced by players who are joining in progress. I've yet to see a bot disappear and the player join. It's usually if there's a bot there, that's that. Especially after they fixed the thing where you'd have bots in the lobby and it still try to fill it up, which would lead to you having like 11 out of 7 survivors and goofy issues like that. Or even as worse, this issue here where I had a fourth clown join my game, and not only was he abusing the popcorn gun, this is before the update where the popcorn gun was OP. This guy was talking trash the entire time, so I felt very good being killed by him. They fixed a bunch of stuck spots. I can't recall getting stuck anything, but I definitely do know what they mean. I was so fresh about getting stuck, I didn't think to record it. When I get upset enough, I don't record stuff. So yeah, I can't say anything about that. Now, this is one issue that's definitely going to be a little aggravating to me. They claim to have fixed an issue where repair items spawn too close to their late escape. This is a complete lie. I have plenty of clips here where, number one, for some reason, there's only two things you could put the gas tanks in, but more than one gas tank spawns, which should not be the case in this game. Especially where there's the RNG from opening items from chests. I mean, it's a little laughable for them to have items that static spawn on the map, and yet they still do more than two. It's already fresh today if that Texas does the same thing, where you could find like five fuses and you only need one to put in a fuse box. But that's going to be handy when Hands comes to the game, and or now that Hands in the game. Sorry, um, but as far as I can tell, with the gas cans, when you die, you should automatically be forced to drop it. So I don't understand why they feel the need to have multiple gas cans. I know that's got to be the one item in the game that you literally can't spawn for another character when you're spectating. But what really makes me upset about this whole them claiming to have distance items from spawns, which only it could only be for the gas tank, unless they have some sort of logic where the crates will not open like a key item, which I'm pretty sure is not the case. I'm almost positive I found spark plugs near objectives there. But Jeez, I'm like so upset. I'm like losing my train of thought here. The devs they put a live stream out day one of this game's release, and number one, first and foremost, to go to a different little rant here. This game's supposed to have a preference system, not like a system where you could straight up pick your side like DBD in Texas or really any other Asym you would have. No, it has a preference system like Friday the 13th where you could prefer to play either Clown or Survivor, but it's not guaranteed. That system isn't in the game because they've having some sort of issues with it. I don't know what these issues are, but I really wish they just put it in the game and then fixed it, if that's even possible. Because at the rate they're going here, with all these things they claim to fix that have not fixed, there's no telling when we're going to get that preference system, and it feels like false advertisement. That combined with the whole fact that there was even crossplay when this game was in early access. I gotta be honest here. I would not have gotten this game early access had I known there was no crossplay. The crossplay is the half the reason why I bothered getting it early access, as I could have waited to have gotten it where there was crossplay and a preference system. So that not being in the early access, it really makes me feel a little scammed, you know. Like this game really is starting to feel a little cash grabby here. And that's just evidence with the skin pack they put out day one. They have two clown cosmetic packs. One is for the Ranger, which turns him to this nightmare fuel looking clown, and the other is for the victims. I'm sorry, Sophia, I keep calling them victims. In which they're dressed as clowns, which number one I don't like, and two, they're very cheap. It's just basically recolors the skins we have. The only original items to it are like the face paint and red noses for the survivors themselves, which it feels. I don't know. I mean, I'm just not much of a fan of that. It's just something that rubs me the wrong way about that. If I'm completely honest here, but they have a bunch of stuff here, like to say they reduce the duration that escape locations remain on the HUD after reaching a meeting point. That is a lie, as well as if they claim to have fixed anything about the HUD staying on the screen too long. Again, that is a lie. That is still very much a problem that happens in the game. I've even had bugs where, like I said, even after I left the meeting point or used the compass, the escape options would still be on the screen. So it's just like not too many bugs I've really witnessed have been game breaking. This is maybe a bug where apparently you could throw a cocoon off the map. That'd be seen as a little game breaking. But again, besides you being able to escape literally in minutes because things spawn literally right in your hand and you just go around the corner and get to an objective, this game just has really bad balancing options. There's a lot of bugs, but again, they're all pretty minor. Uh, they fixed some things with the voice chat where the fall off distance for talking to the survivors isn't nearly as far, and a very good change to clown is the fact that now they have global chat for each other, so that definitely helps narrow that gap that pre-mates had, where they're able to call for help across the map and whatnot, which definitely just gave away whether you're playing against a group of clowns or not. But moving on, they kind of fixed some issue with the crosshair making a screen after they drop the weapon. I never ran that issue, but it's good they fixed it, if they really fixed it. They fixed the issue where certain outfits were missing flashlights. I hope that's not the reason why we had to respec all of our outfits, because yeah, that was definitely an L if that's the case. Um, this is what I could definitely confirm they fixed. They fixed the issue where when you were backfilled into a game, all of the empty loot crates would be closed. So it's good they fixed that, as that was definitely very confusing and a bit annoying because you're going into closed crates expecting to loot something and you can't. Um, I never had this issue where you would regain stamina while you're sprinting even without an item buff. But again, if they fix that, it's good. There's just a bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna mention everything on this patch notes. I'm just like really just trying to skim through it here and read things I think are worthwhile. Um, what else do we have here? Yeah, like right here, they have it. They said they fixed where the compass would cause indicators to permit. They did not fix that. I literally just ran into that issue before I started recording this video. Like, it's just sad when you see a whole long list of things they fixed and you play the game and it's like, no, this is still here. Like I said, they have an issue where you keep grabbing items, you would have gotten interaction lock. I've never ran into any interaction lock issues in this game. The only lock issue I ran into was one where after a survivor frees himself from a cocoon, as you're trying to put them onto the generator, you'd get stuck in place. You could still swing, teleport, and all that. It's just you couldn't move. So that's an extremely annoying issue that if they didn't fix, they really need to. Um, they said something about fix the issue where you could not uncrouch in a certain location. They need to fix the fact that while you're crouching, you open a container, automatically stands you up. That's a little annoying. If you want to crouch, it'd be nice if interacting with something doesn't uncrouch you. They fixed the issue where Blunt West would sometimes kill a clown. I never noticed a clown killing me with a blunt weapon during the early access, but I'm definitely glad they fixed that, as that's complete nonsense. Um, now this is one thing to note. I mentioned this in my last video about the fear mechanic being a mystery, but they have fixed the fact that not even fixed, really it's a buff. They increased how much fear is reduced while you're hiding a hiding spot. For those of you who do not know, if you're completely fear, which when you have that purple tint around the screen, hiding in a, like, let's say a dumpster here, that will reduce your fear. So coming out of it again, you should be unfeared. And same for finding another survivor. If you are next to another survivor long enough, it'll reduce your fear as well. So nerf to the axes. The axe doesn't do nearly as much damage as it did to the barricades by the bridges. So again, that's news to me. I guess I'll never smack those things down with axes enough. Um, I mean, it makes sense though. It is a woodcutter's axe, so it should do crazy damage to it. But I guess one shotting it would be a little too much. Um, Now they fixed the issue with the third clown loadout where that wasn't available, which is hilarious because that was the trapper's loadout, who, by the way, still does not have the trapper clown ability. They claimed that there was issues with that ability balance wise. I doubt it was because it's broken. The way they described it, it made it seem like this game changed a lot during development and it just didn't fit the game anymore. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like clowns would be very helpful as you'd be able to put those down in front of objectives and what have you. And that'd be very good. I mean, they had bear traps in Friday the 13th, and they worked just fine. So I don't know how they would be so broken here. But I almost positive they claim to have fixed the issue with spawn points. But as you can see in the little clip right here, I literally backfilled into a game right in front of a survivor opening a crate. So I wonder how that would have looked if he noticed me literally just spawn in front of him. Like that's just nonsense. And just again, just speaks volumes to how rushed and cash grabbing this game feels. There's just so many glaring issues, like with how fast victims can escape, the fact that the clowns can spawn on top of each other, but the game wants you to spread out and explore the map so you could teleport. Which is speaking of which, I hate the fact there's no map for you to even look at. You only can see a map when you're about to teleport. That's an issue. There's plenty enough buttons available even on controller where you'd be able to look at a map. And speaking of which, one thing that really angered me when I started watching some more streams, I noticed they have key bindings for them to switch to whatever item slot they can at will. But for console, even though I'm pretty sure there's still leftover buttons that are unused, you can't switch to whatever item you want. You literally can only press, let's say, triangle to slot around the inventory going right. So it's really annoying. There's plenty of times where I, let's say, deplete a weapon. I need to quickly switch to my revolver so to shoot a clown in his nose, and I can't because I gotta slowly go across the inventory from the right side over, and that gives them just enough time to mash their way up. And now I can't kill them. So that's something they really need to look into. As again, that's nonsense. Along with the fact you can't keybind on either platform. Um, what is it? So I said I hear about the clown jumping quality. I don't care about that. I've never seen an interaction like after a clown tally, but again, I've seen one where you got cocooned and stabbed and you can't move. Uh, Same, the clown trick thing after a clown tally not being able to be used. I've had that happen like once, yeah. So that's definitely good if they truly did fix that. Uh, that's another thing I could mention right now. The freaking cotton candy guns, yeah. There's still objectives that you can't cocoon when the cotton candy is removed, and there's even what you call it. Well, I don't know where I was going with that, but I'll just straight up go into the nurse the cotton candy guns. They nerfed the heck out of the bounce caster. I was the one who complained about that bounce caster being OP. I said it being just four shots, maybe five tops would make it five, but somehow it being two extra shots to cocoon someone just made that gun useless. Granted, the only time I used that gun, it was on a tank, and he's already useless, so maybe that's giving myself a negative opinion of it, but that's just like one issue I have with this game entirely, though. Just the fact that even this quote unquote slow character, the tough survivor, I'm calling it Bruiser and Brawler last video, they are generally faster than the clowns, so it just makes you wonder how fast are they claiming these clowns are supposed to be if the slowest survivor can still outrun them. And don't get me started about them drinking a soda. You might as well just give up chasing them as they got infinite stamina for like 30 seconds. It is just like you pretty much have to jump a survivor, and that's only gonna work if they're cornered and they can't just sprint. As no matter how many clowns are on you, can just sprint away from them. And that combined with the fact for some reason they nerfed the lore ability, which I said was strong, but I didn't think it needed to be nerfed. Like it's to the point that you lure them, you're only going to be able to get one hit off. Maybe if there's multiple clowns, you could do something with it, but I don't know why they nerfed that. I mean, they buffed the penta shot, so there's that. The penta shot's actually decent now. The popcorn bazooka it's still useful, it's just not broken. So that one, the only thing about that I really kind of didn't agree with is the fact it's called a popcorn bazooka, yet they referenced it to being a popcorn shotgun during the live stream. So I don't know why don't just change the name of it then. 'Cause I wouldn't quite say a bazooka is a close range weapon, but I'm no gun expert there. Um, so if you don't get where I'm getting at here, they not only decrease the damage on a popcorn gun, but the range and the tracking. So seems a bit heavy-handed, but again, popcorn gun's not totally useless. It's decent now. I wouldn't say it's balanced like it's a perfectly fine gun, but this is not broken. I'll say that much. The claim that made some hit detection things with the cotton candy ray gun, increase the damage of how much throwing a cocoon at a human does. I mean, it's nice if you have a cocoon and a human's running up at you or something. Just they're doing something wrong that you managed to hit them, but that's not something too amazing. Now, this is a big one here that they did. They increased the movement speed of clowns when they sprint backwards. This one I'm not much a fan of, as it's at least a lot of cheesy moments where the clown can literally just backpedal and melee you or backpedal and shoot, and it just makes it annoying to even fight them. So then it forces humans to just run from the clown. It's like you don't want to encourage a survivor to just run from the clown. That's no better. If they don't want to interact with you, you get the DBD type moments where instead of looping you, they're just trying to run in a straight line across the map from you, and it's just very boring having to deal with stuff like that. So I think that's really about it. I think I've just about went over everything. They increased the charge speed of the mallet, but that and just about every melee weapon that you could charge up takes way too long. I'm not sure if the humans charge melee is shorter than the clowns, but all those they need to decrease the charge speeds for all these weapons, as again, they're not very useful. And did I mention how clunky it is interacting with doors? Like opening them kind of slows you down, almost kind of frees you in place, and closing them as you see him fumbling around trying to close a door back. I'm not sure why exactly I wanted to close it so bad, but I mean, hey, this just perfectly shows how again awkward doors need to be. I'm sorry, are and need to be changed. It's like again, this is just a joke. Doors are literally stupid in this game. Um, but yeah, I think that just about covers everything I have to go over with the game. There's still some issues like exploit survivors can do, such as that notorious window I showed off on the last video, and again the boat, where literally once they got that boat started up, you can't do anything about it. I heard that you can use the lure ability to get them, force them off the boat, but I've never gotten an issue where I had the lure ability and they're just sitting on the boat trying to BM me because I can't kill them. But that's what I definitely would have to investigate. But again, overall, this wasn't a very good week for Killer Klowns. And I was just laughing because DBD released the Vecna chapter on Monday, where they usually do their Tuesday chapter releases. And if you guys didn't know, Tuesday was when this game went live. So I just find it funny that Behavior was actually shook enough to release their game a day earlier, because there's no way they're trying to give them their room to breathe when if they're trying to give them their limelight, they would have just waited an entire week or released it a week early to let them have their shine, like Gun did. Gun, let's be honest, they could have released Hans and Maria whenever they wanted to. They were trying to be nice because Ilphonic helped them come up with Friday, so they didn't want to step on their toes and release their stuff early. But they really have to shape up. We're gonna need another patch like ASAP to fix a lot of these issues that are still prevalent in the game. And they're definitely going to have to say something content-wise, because just bug fixes aren't going to keep this game alive. We need to know what's going on next. New maps, clowns, survivors, are they coming? Because again, I am in a bit better mood for this game after my last play session, but originally I was just going to really just start just ranting and raving about stuff like crazy here, just a complete negative Nancy review. But again, because of my good experience, all I can really end this off by saying here is if they don't turn this thing around, I mean, I'm already saying I regret getting this game digital. I wanted to get it physical literally because I had no faith in this game, and I wanted to be able to return it or sell it or whatever, so at least I can get some of my money back. But I kind of can't do that now with it being digital. Um, and honestly, I only played this game maybe 3 or 4 times this last week. And when I did, it was for like under an hour. So it's not very good. I could even confirm day one of the game's release. Only played the game for maybe 4 hours tops, and that was in between two play sessions. The second day during the early access, I played it like maybe 6 hours in one sitting, because that's when I started to get the hang of the game. It was less frustrating than my first time playing it. But yeah, um, I think that's really gonna be it for this video. So me ranting and raving for like 25 minutes aside. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy me ranting about this game, please give it a like and consider subscribing. It's a free way of following me so you can keep up to date with my videos. And of course, give me some comments here. Last video did surprisingly well, but no one commented on it. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid that someone's gonna just dunk on you in the comments. I'm going to delete it if it seems kind of negative. So let's get some more interactions here, guys. I'd love to see it. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.